Hey guys! So as you can see, this is basically things new, but I also reordered the Makiage, which wow, this time it was really tricky. The first time I ordered from them was back in 2018, and I had never heard of them before. I actually just now found out that they have been in business since 1972 and that they revamped with new leadership in 2018, hence why they're popular now with, of course, new investments. So when I did this in 2018, 19, I ended up hating the formula. I mean, it was brand new and I didn't like it. It was extremely drying then. I want to say that I tried it before 2018 because I could swear that I tried it in one of my old apartments, which was 2010, but I don't know. All I know is that I tried it a while ago when they only had the one foundation. I don't even think they had makeup back then, or at least not like they do now. Do you know what I mean? So when I did it this time, first off, it was completely off. It kept giving me number 40, then number 30, because I retook the quiz about 5 times. Finally, I got number 10, which was close, because the first time they gave me number 20, which was way too dark back then. But what I found interesting is that they gave me... Oh, I love the boxes. Oh my god, this is gorgeous. They gave me a full coverage foundation with everything that I wrote. I don't understand why they did that. This is gorgeous packaging, by the way. I love cardboard because, of course, you're saving... Things just don't need to be so elaborate. This is elaborate all on its own in cardboard. Oh my god, and it's not cardboard. It's, you know what I'm talking about. But wow, this is really pretty. I like this. So I have the Next Gen Full Coverage Foundation in 10. At least it should be in 10. Let me check. Okay, it's actually on the lid. 010 After Party. Didn't even know it was called After Party, but that's cool. Now, I didn't want this one because it's not neutral and it actually looks pretty peachy yellow, but hopefully it will somehow color correct my face. So, of course, you get to try these products for 14 days. I did not know that they actually hold your money, which they claim they release it the next day, but they don't because, according to my bank, they still haven't requested a release. So here it's saying apply 2 pumps to your entire face, jaw, and neckline. Of course, I don't do my neckline. I don't like having my makeup on my clothes. And of course, you know, how to blend out. Wait 5 minutes. Oh, okay. For the foundation to set before checking the shade. So it might oxidize. Good to know. And then, of course, don't match your neck to your wrist. I don't think people do that. At least I hope they don't. Wow, they actually give you full-on directions on how to apply the makeup. So if this is your first time using foundation or makeup, go ahead and give these guys a try. Hang on. Sorry, I just wanted to read these because they look different and there's just one-off different where this one says to prep your face with moisturizer, whereas this one doesn't say anything in terms of prepping your face. But yeah, if you need to apply your foundation to your neck, it's because it's not matching your neck. I always try to get foundations that match my neck. My face is very pink, so I match my neck. So I find it interesting that they're telling you to apply it all the way down your neck. What is this? Okay, so how to return it. So I have the primer, Fuck on Flawless Multi-Use Perfecting Concealer. Right here, primer here, which I found really interesting because they gave me the primer, or the foundation, brain fart, the concealer in 2.5. So yeah, their system for selecting I think is really off for fair people, so be careful with that because again, first 40, then 30, never 20, never 2.5, and then 10. I didn't even get 0.5, which I think is what I am because, I don't know, dude. I mean, it's a great idea. I like it, but I think it's a little flawed. So let's start off with this primer. We actually put their boxes. I'm going to take everything out of the boxes. Hang on. Okay. Forget that. I'm not going to say that. They gave me a free ink liner. Okay, that's kind of cool. So we get to try an ink liner. So there's a lot of free stuff today. Free stuff. There's a lot of new stuff today. I guess in a sense, yes, it is free for now. All right, let's see if I like this stuff. So I am gonna start with this. This is really pretty, but excessive packaging for a primer. Okay, so that took a while to really prime the pump, and check this out. You really don't get anything out. Ready? I don't know if they are telling you don't need a lot of primer, but this looks like a silicone primer. Oh wait, it feels like one. It basically feels like kind of like Smashbox. Or no, Smashbox. Smashbox or Bare Minerals, not quite like Professional or Cover FX. Those feel a little different. But yeah, this reminds me of Smashbox. Very, very pretty packaging, but yeah, extremely excessive for primer. Foundation? Hello. I do think the packaging for the concealer is quite interesting. Hello, Danessa. So I find that interesting. I think this is going to be too dark for me, but I'm going to, hold on, let me wash my hands. Okay, so this sets down kind of interesting. Yeah, I like that. So here we go. If I can get it out. Oh yeah, that's pretty dark. Hopefully it's good for color correcting, since I have dark eyes. Oh wow, that is like really dark and really peach. I don't understand why they do that. I really don't. It'll be interesting to see if this creases. So that's just what I applied, you know, a couple of dots. I don't feel that it did too much, so I'm gonna go in with, gosh, it's really hard to get out, with just a little more in the inner corners, and then I'll do whatever cleanup after, because I think I'm just gonna go really simple on the eyes. But I do have a lot of new stuff that I want to try, even though it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so that's nothing like my Becca or my It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. It's looking really dry and funky, and yet at the same time creamy, so that's not really making any sense, especially in this eye, because this eye never does anything weird. It's very strange. So not sure how I feel about that. How does this one work? Hang on. It's a pop off with a pump. A pop off with a pump. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? So I'm just gonna pump some right into my hand. When it finally comes out. Okay, so that's kind of like one prime and a full pump, which isn't bad. I don't think I should need too much more than that. So let's see. It's very moussey, but I'm afraid because this is a matte finish, and matte finishes don't look good on me. Oh my God, that smells so pretty. Oh, it smells like something I would want to drink. Like one of my roommates, like, oh, what do you call those? Energy drinks or whatever? Not an energy drink. I think those who work out know what I'm talking about, like those creatine drinks or something. I call them extra hyper caffeinated drinks. The amount of caffeine in those things is insane. I'm back on my Shot Miss A sponge because I like it. It's closer to my aesthetic sponge, Aesthetica. I liked that sponge. Well, this is pooling in my pores already, and that's with their primer on. Why does it do that? I don't grasp why certain foundations do that. Okay, so here it is on half my face. It is definitely full coverage. This foundation looks really yellow on me. Really yellow. Hang on. Okay, so maybe you can see that better. So see, this is all my redness, and look at how full coverage that is. So they're not kidding there. It does pool in your pores because my forehead looks like it has all of my pores filled, like pooling with foundation, which does not look attractive. Let me actually get the rest of this on here. Okay, so for those of us with dry skin, even normal skin, and sadly I'm gonna say oily skin because wow, this basically is full coverage. It does set down. I actually had to rub the areas that still weren't blended because they were kind of like staying there, like, hey, no, this is where you put us, we're not going anywhere. I personally don't like the way that it looks. It looks very makeup-y to me. That was a lot of foundation, especially for somebody like myself who doesn't really like to use a lot. I mean, I haven't used this much foundation or this type of foundation in the sense of full coverage since the 80s, 90s. So yeah, that's like pretty drastic. So if you like a full coverage foundation, this is definitely full coverage. It does seem to be drying down, you know, dry. But I believe that it looks cakey for the amount that you need to make it full coverage. I think that if you do what I'm doing right now, you might be able to work it into not creasing under the eyes, because right there it was creasing, which it still is creasing. I have a feeling it'll set that way. I am going to try this again. I'll do a full foundation Friday where I shear it out and try to make it look better than it looks now. I think that if I mix it with a moisturizer and shear it out that way, it'll probably look really good. Or even something like the Becca. This might work. I forget what it's called, but yeah, I can't see it because I don't have my glasses on. As for their primer, it definitely didn't do anything to help their foundation. So, not too impressed about that. And I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the concealer, especially since you can really still see my dark inner corners. I'm going to do this, which is probably going to make it worse. But you know what? Today's a dry day, so who cares? First impressions, right? First impression is, holy shit. Yeah, these are usually the foundations that I avoid, but because they kept on after, 5 times of taking the quiz, it kept on pointing me to this one versus the other one, which the other one is a buildable foundation, and this one is just full on, full coverage. I was kind of surprised, especially when I put down every time I like sheer to medium or sheer to buildable. And it, again, very, very, very yellow. Yeah, I don't see how that helps. I definitely prefer my Becca and my Becca and my It Cosmetics. So far, not impressed, but I will go ahead and shear it out now that the pump is primed and see what happens.